Hello everybody and welcome to the Right Business Show, a video podcast about entrepreneurial experiences and professional expertise, moderated as usual by Cezar Armașu
and Aura Icodin, company A Best.
Thank you so much. Here we are at edition with number 20. It is a very special edition. First of all, I would like to introduce you our special guests. We have the honor of having here with us Mrs. Dr. Beatrice Onica Jarka, President of the European Court of Arbitration, Romanian chapter, and owner and partner at Beatrice Onica Jarka and Associates. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here.
Then secondly, we have the pleasure of having with us Mr. Alain Schodts, Executive Director at the Belgian, Luxemburg, Romanian, Moldovan Chamber. Welcome.
I'm honored to participate. Thank you.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you. Giovanni Di Folco is here today with us. Giovanni Di Folco is the Vice President of the European Court of Arbitration Romanian chapter, Director in the Board of the Italian-Romanian Chamber of Commerce, and moreover, President at the Region to Dispute Resolution Board Foundation. Welcome again.
Thank you. Nice to be here. I'm truly honored.
And last but not least, Mr. Emilio Luque, the President of ASEMER and a business lawyer, member of the Bucharest Bar Association. Welcome here, Mr. Luque.
Thank you very much. I'm very honored to be here.
Before going on, we would like to ask Mrs. Beatrice Onica Jarka to introduce us in the topic of the day, which is a very, very special one.
Thank you, Aura. It's something you would like to know and many people would like to know, especially the people from the business community. It's about arbitration and about the arbitration services offered by the European Court of Arbitration in general, or European Court of Arbitration and European Court of Arbitration Romanian chapter in special. Arbitration, as many of you know, is a mean or a method of dispute resolution, an easy, accessible one, and depending on the forum of arbitration chosen, it is the right business choice.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. We are very happy to have you all here with us. For our audience, before entering the topic, I would like to ask each of you to speak a little bit about the business organizations that you represent. Maybe we should start, if you don't mind, with Mr. Alain Schodts.
Thank you, Aura. So, the Belgian Chamber exists now this year 11 years. What started as a business association, we developed quite rapidly over the last years. A few milestones of the Chamber is that in 2017 we applied for the accreditation of to become a Chamber of Commerce by the Belgian Federation. In 2019, there was another milestone. We added also Luxembourg, the country Luxembourg. We have the accreditation from the Chamber of Commerce of Luxembourg. And Moldova was a logic step because our Belgian ambassador here in Bucharest is also responsible for the Republic of Moldova. We are an association with more than 200 members. Where we organize a lot of events. Our core event is the Belgian Week that we organize each year. And over the last year, we try to be more and more professional in such way that we try to establish a pool of services for our members, not only in Romania, but also for the Belgian companies in Belgium, in Moldova, and in Luxembourg. Thank you.
Now I would like to go to Mr. Giovanni Di Folco. What could you tell us about the organizations that you are representing today here?
Thank you. I will start with the European Court of Arbitration, but I will be brief so that our president, Ms. Jarka, will be able to go more in depth to it. Just as a general remark, the European Court of Arbitration, it's quite a very old organization, more than 70 years old, and has various chapters around Europe. It is a renowned arbitration organization that over the past 70 years has obviously pursued dispute avoidance in the alternative dispute resolution business with a certain rigor and professionalism. The Italian Chamber of Commerce for Romania, it's one of the largest chambers in Romania with more than 600 members. Is very active. Our president is Mr. Roberto Musneci, and our general secretary is Mr. Giovanni Pometti. We obviously partner with many others chambers, but the main scope of the chambers is obviously to look after Italian companies that operate in Romania, and as you may know, Italy is the largest number of enterprises in Romania and is the largest partner, financial partner for Romania. The Dispute Resolution Board Foundation is based in the United States and is the largest dispute resolution organization in the world with nearly 1,000 members, and they promulgated the use of dispute adjudication boards worldwide, and obviously they pursue dispute avoidance internationally. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now, from the Italian business community, let us move to the Spanish one. So, Mr. Emilio Luque, what could you tell us about ASEMER?
ASEMER is a private entity established since 2013. We are at this moment more than 40 members, around 46 members, more specific. We promote businesses between Spanish companies and Romanian community. And our activity is supported by events and publications that we add on the social media. We are very glad to be here supporting this initiative.
Thank you so much once again. Now, let's turn back to Mrs. Dr. Beatrice Onica Jarka, and we would like to invite her to introduce us more, to say so deeply, into the topic of the day.
Thank you very much, Aura. The topic of the day, as I said earlier, is arbitration and the arbitration service offered by the European Court of Arbitration or European Court of Arbitration Romanian chapter. Why I'm discussing and bringing to you this very interesting topic is because the European Court of Arbitration is one of the kind in the world, not only because it offers services of arbitration to at international European level, but also because it shows a very interesting approach of the national, local markets. European Court of Arbitration, as Mr. Di Folco said earlier, is a European Court of Arbitration which is close to the potential beneficiaries of these services, in the sense that it decided a long time ago to open local chapters or national chapters in different jurisdictions. At this moment there are 17 national jurisdictions all over Europe, and not only. We also have national chapters opened in East and Middle East countries, 17 jurisdictions which are covered by established national chapters, as it is also the Romanian one, and which covers the services of arbitration under the rules of European Court of Arbitration, that of course with the applicability of Lex Arbitrii for each of these 17 national jurisdictions. And this is something remarkable at the international and European level. So the European Court of Arbitration brings actually its expertise for over 70 years, as already stated, and brings it and is in cooperation with the professional, the local professionals, provides high quality arbitration services.
Wonderful. Thank you for the explanations.
Aura, I want to put one question for Beatrice Onica Jarka. In Romanian are many domestic arbitration court. Why you choose to bring in Romanian a chapter from European Court of Arbitration?
It's a very good question. The Romanian market is flooded with let's say local arbitration courts, which are not necessarily the answer which is requested or expected actually by the business community. So I considered, and together with the board of directors of European Court of Arbitration, that Romania is a market which really needs to benefit of arbitration services which are provided under long-established rules of arbitration with predictability, transparency, and I also wanted to bring my contribution to bring to the Romanian market specialized, very specialized or hyper-specialized corps of arbitrators who will be able to offer the best solution in arbitration in case of dispute resolution.
A very diplomatic answer, but Aura, please ask our special guest.
Ellen, we would like you to tell us which are the differences in using arbitration when it comes to the business communities in Belgium versus the ones in Romania. What could you tell us from your own experience?
First of all, I would like to point out that I'm not a lawyer.
Excuse me, Alain.
No problem. So the only thing that I can say from my side is the following. I think it's 1 year ago, Beatrice, that we got in contact to
discuss about
it. We signed an agreement about that. I think we wanted to have this in our pool of services in the chamber. And the reason is very simple. Is because it's the European Court of Arbitration. We are representing a lot of Belgian companies in Romania. It shows also a better integration of Romania in the European community. I think this is very, very important to specify this. And I think it's again a good step forward for Romania. I have nothing against the local Court of Arbitrations here in Romania, to show that Romania is on the right track to integrate, especially, and I don't like to use the word, but I will use it, is the rule of law. And I think it's a good sign for Romania that you're on the right track. And really support this. Okay, we do it now in a kind of service providing to our members, but I think in overall it's a good step forward for Romania. And I'm very glad that Beatrice took this initiative to show that Romania is a European country. Thank you.
Thank you. Giovanni, please.
Okay. Yeah, what about the differences between the Romanian and the Italian way of approach. What could you tell us, Mr. Giovanni Di Folco?
Thank you, Aura. The worst enemy of arbitration worldwide is the perception of bias of the institution that provides arbitration services. It is very important, and the key word is independence. In an international environment like the one in Romania, where the majority of enterprises are European and a very minority is Romanian, providing arbitration services by an institution that is obviously very independent because it is not Romanian assures to the various Italian players in Romania the certainty of proper access to justice. The perception of bias, unfortunately, is in human nature, and having nothing taken away from the domestic institutions that provide arbitration services. However, having a European body with a Romanian chapter and flavor that brings Romanian top arbitrators of various disciplines and international arbitrators into the pool of arbitrators that can deal with disputes, provides that level field and that perception of independence that Italian entrepreneurs obviously seek when they operate outside of Italy. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, let's move to Mr. Emilio Luque. We'd like to ask you quite the same question, which is the perception of the Spanish business community in terms of arbitration, and if there are any differences between the Romanian versus the Spanish approach.
Well, the arbitration in Spanish business community is more developed than it is here in Romania, because it's first of all it's a larger country and with more experience on commercial issues. For our point of view, this initiative is very welcome because it offers a new opportunity for any company or entrepreneur who is doing business here in Romania to address himself for the dispute of commercial issue to an independent court with independent rules that can offer him a very satisfactory solution to the problem he is facing. Arbitration is good because it offers a second chance, a second place to go to resolve dispute between companies. It helps to save time for companies to resolve their disputes and give an insight in their problems because of the specialized of the arbiters that are part of the
Wonderful. Now, if you don't mind, you've just said that arbitration saves time. I would like to develop a little bit this idea. Maybe our audience is very interested in finding out why, because we know that whenever it comes to you, the lawyers, time flies very quickly, and anything seems to be very, very long in terms of time. Why is Mr. Emilio Luque saying that arbitration usually saves time. We are very curious to find out the reasons. Who would like to develop a little bit this idea for our audience? Because I'm pretty sure that they are very interested in finding out why.
I think the best person to answer this question should be Beatrice. But from our side, we can say, first of all, that arbitration is needs an agreement between the parties that they should resolve the dispute inside of a lapse of time. That means from 6 to 9 months. If they don't succeed to resolve their dispute in that time, this procedure is not more valid. On the other side, when we go to a private institution that is rendering service to resolve a dispute, the worries and the care of that institution should be addressed to a specific dispute. That means that in difference what we have on the state dispute traditional courts, the number of disputes that are being presented to one court, it is completely different. On the one side we have one court that decides for one dispute, on the other side we have one court that is resolved for hundreds of disputes. And this could bring no more value, or can bring no more better solutions to that specific question. But as I said, Beatrice is, I think, is the person who should answer better this question.
Please, Beatrice, tell us why arbitration saves time. But before this, please answer you on the first question. What is the difference between Romanian and another European country in the terms of how business use the arbitration?
Excellent. Excellent questions. I will start with this, and I will start by saying why, which is, in my opinion, very important. I will start by saying that the arbitration is created by the business community, was created by the business community for the business community. So the business community needed to have an alternative dispute resolution to the courts, the state, the public judicial system. This is why it came with solution, because the business community, in the business community, what is important? Time, money, business. So you have to do, in order to be successful, you have to have successful businesses in short time, and of course with less investment as possible. This is the definition of the successful business. This is why the business community came up with this solution, arbitration, and it was not in our country when it happened. It was of course around Europe and in the countries so graciously represented here by my fellow partners in this enterprise, and it came with these advantages: efficiency in terms of time. So the procedures are shorter than the procedures in the court. The procedure ends with a final decision which is enforceable, which is very important. In the court you have to go for the second level of jurisdiction, for the third level of jurisdiction. So you will need several years until you reach the final point of having a final decision enforceable. And also, very important, in terms of money, it's saving not only time, this kind of dispute resolution, but also money, because as anybody can notice, that charges, the taxes in arbitration, the fees in arbitration are less than those practiced by the courts, by the Romanian public system in our case. So this was the reason for which, or this is the reason for which the business community here or anywhere else in Europe or at the international level choose to have their dispute resolution solved by arbitration. Of course, there is let's say a more educated choice for arbitration in the international level, the European level, as arbitration has been practiced for many years, and there is a need of the business community which is understood better in other jurisdiction than in the Romanian jurisdiction. On the Romanian jurisdiction, of course, comparing the practice is really low. There were a lot of contracts, state contracts in privatization, for example, which for which it was imposed the arbitration clause, but normally this arbitration clause went for the international forums, or the choice was for international forums. Still, at the national level, if we are discussing about domestic disputes, there is a sort of understanding, and still there is an avoidance of the arbitration in comparison with the choice of the court. But my belief is that actually the trust in this method of solving disputes will increase as long as it will be generalization of the level of education into arbitration. And this is why European Court of Arbitration Romanian chapter choose to go to the Commerce Chamber, to the business associations existing in Romania, especially the bilateral ones, as they are those present here today, in order to bring the offer of arbitration services in which the business companies, the companies should trust or are able to trust. So the offer of the European Court of Arbitration, Romanian chapter of business services through the bilateral chambers and association is actually an offer of trust. So this is actually the reason for which we are all together here, to support a method to solve the dispute resolution in a way which is efficient for the business community.
I think, Beatrice, it is important to add what have you said already, that in arbitration you don't get any different sentence what you would get in a traditional court. The sentence, the decisions of the courts are
exactly
the same, but the way they are taken, the time it needs to be taken, and how things are taken care inside of the procedure is much more efficient and much more well treated in the arbitration. And on the other side also is to be mentioned that in case anyone that goes in arbitration and it thinks that things are not done with justice, the procedure is not well observed, he can go to a regular court to make a claim or to make a challenge in order to decide if the procedure is well followed by the arbitration court.
Now, going back to the bilateral chambers, I would like to ask you if arbitration could be useful in the disputes between companies which are from different countries. For instance, businesses which are from Romania and from Spain, or from Romania and from Italy. What could you tell us?
Well, advantage that brings the arbitration for Spanish companies, I think is the first of all is a matter of trust. They can trust better on the market, the Romanian market, because I will make a parenthesis and said that first of all we don't want any dispute between commercial partners, but in the case it is a dispute, arbitration offers the opportunity to get things done quite fast. This is one of the best advantage we see in arbitration. As I said, it's a matter of trust. They open businesses here in Romania, and when they find a partner together with him, together with whom to sign a contract and to carry out commercial relationships, it should be an agreement between those parties to foreseen for any case that they find dispute in their relation. Therefore, we think arbitration is the best solution they can get in a foreign country, this Romania, which is sometimes the trust in the local market means not just to find the right partners, but to find justice on the tribunals, which is not always easy, and it is also very important to say that the possibility to finish a resolution, to finish a dispute in a reasonable period of time is very important for any entrepreneur, any company that is doing business, because otherwise business doesn't exist.
So now, if you don't mind, let's go to Mr. Alain Schodts. How are the disputes in your Chamber of Commerce? How do you deal with them?
First of all, we never have disputes. No, I'm joking.
I suppose as far as much as I know, BEROCC is a very peaceful organization.
We try to be, indeed, we try to be. But I can formulate it in another way that we, for the Belgian companies, we are, how to say, a point of trust. And that point of trust has now an agreement with the European Court of Arbitration. And I think it's also for our members good to know this, and that they can say, okay, we can do business in Romania, or Romanian companies in Belgium. It works in both ways. So it gives them a little bit more relaxation to say we can do business in Romania, and if on the long term there is a dispute or a discussion, we know where to go and with who we can talk to solve this problem as soon as possible and to save money, because in business time is very important, it needs to be short, and I think we should try to do this, and also to create awareness not only with the Belgian companies but with the Spanish, with the Italian companies, that this institute or this organization exists. And there I would like to, and we're going to have a discussion about that, to create more awareness that this service exists. Thank you.
Okay. Now, I would like to go back to Mrs. Beatrice Onica Jarka, and I would like to invite her to tell us which are the differences between the services offered by the European Court of Arbitration in comparison to the other local or international similar organizations?
Thank you, Aura, for the question. The question is very important because it's all about having arbitration of high quality and solutions in short time and with less money. That's why European Court of Arbitration decided to establish a Romanian chapter. And this difference is from the existing forums on the Romanian market and on international market, the existing arbitration forums, is that actually European Court of Arbitration offers a list of, as I said, hyper-specialized arbitrators, which knows to do at the level of excellence to practice law in a certain area, which is an expertise recognizable and very easy to be known from the point of view of the one who requests or choose to appoint a certain arbitrator. And European Court of Arbitration makes it easier on its website to select an arbitrator by sending the request for an arbitrator fulfilling certain conditions in respect of his or her experience. Second, European Court of Arbitration provides for very diverse and flexible arbitration procedures. For example, only by accessing the European Court of Arbitration website, which as very important information is actually present in 3 languages, French, English and Romanian. And on this website, you can find also the arbitration procedure available at the choice of the parties wanted to arbitrate. And just to make it clear what Emilio said earlier, is actually that you can trigger arbitration by 2 special possibilities. In the beginning, when you negotiate your contract, business contract with your partner, it's very easy to introduce the arbitration clause, or if a dispute resolution arises over time, you can have an agreement for arbitration. I will just make a comment. Of course, it's easier to establish with your partner and have transparency and enforceability of what you are going to do in case a dispute resolution arises among the partners in a contract. So it's easier and much safer to have the dispute resolution clause by arbitration introduced from the very beginning. And the last and not the least, the European Court of Arbitration introduces a system of taxes and fees for arbitration, which, comparable with the Romanian court, is much attractive, is more attractive, and in comparison with the local Romanian arbitration court, is far more attractive, like around 2/3 from the fees practicable by the Romanian arbitration forums. Everything you would like to know about the European Court of Arbitration is, as I said, in English, French and Romanian on the website of the European Court of Arbitration. It is very easy accessible and very easy to take all the information you need. If possible, Aura, I would like to ask also Giovanni Di Folco to say something about his experience as arbitrator, because he has been practicing arbitration for a very, very long time, and share with us how he wants to implement these practices as arbitrators in the European Court of Arbitration Romanian chapter practice.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Mrs. Beatrice Onica, for all your explanations. And of course, we would be very happy to listen to more details to Mr. Giovanni Di Folco. So please.
Thank you, Beatrice. Thank you, Aula. From an international arbitrator point of view, the institution is very important in respect of the rules of arbitration, as well as the timing that is required to issue an award, and how that timing is handled by the Court of Arbitration. Over the years, the most used institution has been the International Chamber of Commerce in Paris, the ICC, which, however, has had the problem that arbitration has been very expensive under those rules, and extremely long, with an average of 5 to 6 years to receive an award. An institution like the European Chamber of Arbitration, which guarantees an award in 9 months and has procedures and the arbitrators that they belong to the list, which is not made public, obviously, for obvious reasons. It trains the arbitrators in being very conscious of efficiency in costs and time, and they apply their procedural orders to the parties by having in mind the European Court of Arbitration most important caveat, that is time and money, and they're very strict about it. So from my point of view, acting as an arbitrator under the European Court of Arbitration rules definitely brings a layer of efficiency that in other institutions has been, although advertised, but never actually maintained. And it has become kind of an understanding that, yes, you look at the various rules, like the ICC rules in Paris, that an award should be issued in 6 months, but that is actually utopia, because the arbitrators know very well that is unachievable, because the rules don't allow that. Instead, the European Court of Arbitration, over 70 years, has refined their rules in such a way that the arbitrators that act under those rules are obliged and encouraged to make sure that efficiency in time and money is the number 2 most important aspect of providing an award. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Time usually flies very quickly here at the Right Business Choice. It happened the same today. Now, I would like to invite each of you to draw some final conclusions and to offer some pieces of advice for our local business community, if possible. So, Mrs. Beatrice Onica Jarka.
I would like to have the final word, because I think that will be, let's say, like a conclusion for the conclusions drawn by my distinguished partners in these endeavors. I will ask probably Emilio. Yes?
Okay,
yes?
I take my chance.
Yes, please do.
Well, we are very glad to be here and to support this initiative, because we really think opening this opportunity for companies and entrepreneurs that are acting here in Romania for the dispute of for the resolution of their disputes with other partners is something that will help them to do better business here in Romania. So, as part of the association, of the president of the ASEMER, I really support this initiative, and I think it's a good thing for any entrepreneur, Spanish entrepreneur that is acting here in Romania. It's a matter of trust. I think we, with this partnership, we are putting things on the right way. That's all.
Good. Alain?
First of all, I would like to thank you to be here as an invitee. The only thing that I would like to say is each initiative to support the business community from whatever country, especially in Europe, is great. So this European Court of Arbitration is again on commercial level one step forward for a better integration in Europe. So you have the full support from our channel.
Thank you.
Thanks again for the invitation and for being part of this very distinguished panel and presenters. The Italian business community, through the Italian Chamber of Commerce and the Italian Embassy, have been for many years inquiring on how the access to justice is provided in Romania to Italian enterprises, and there has been for a number of years a cry for help, which I firmly believe that now through the European Court of Arbitration Romanian Chapter Initiative, the Italian Chamber of Commerce and all other Italian institutions and the embassy are able to satisfy by advising the Italian enterprises and entrepreneurs that by choosing in their contracts, especially the private one, the arbitration clause provided by the European Court of Arbitration Romanian Chapter, they will achieve that level of independence and that route to adequate justice while operating on Romanian soil. Thank you.
Thank you. I thank you to the partners of the European Court of Arbitration Romanian Chapter of today, and I want to say, besides of all I said today, that I think and I hope that the European Court of Arbitration will bring closer together the business community, communities in Romania, bilateral, international, multilateral, whatever, but I have this confidence that the business communities need to have integrated solutions for dispute resolution and the last but not the least, trusted solution for dispute resolution, which is the arbitration of the European Court of Arbitration.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all for your attention and see you all soon again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.